Theatrical Shenanigans with
Claudette Jones.
Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Theatrical Shenanigans as we reach the halfway point of this season. I hope you've enjoyed the episode so far and are looking forward to another play and another guest to chat with. Speaking of which, my guest today is a playwright and fiction writer from Cleveland, Ohio, now based in Arizona. She holds a degree in film production with a minor in script writing and conceptualization from Bowling Green State University. She's worked in both the realms of theatre and film, with many of her works featuring on her YouTube channel. Her first full-length university production, Resignation, was performed for 2 nights at the Ava Marie Saint Theatre and received a 2024-2025 Elsewhere Award, as well as earning multiple individual honours. If all that wasn't enough, she's also worked across a range of student and independent projects as a director, writer, casting assistant and script supervisor. And she continues to provide freelance script coverage and participate in festival jurying. It's a thrill to have her here. Welcome, Claudette Jones.
Hello.
Hello, it's a thrill to have you here. So, as always, we start at the very beginning. How did you get your start in the arts world?
I feel like I've always been involved in the art world since I was in grade school, since I was young. I've always written and been involved in theater. So that's something I've just kind of grown more into, especially like going into college and figuring out like what my major and what I want like as a career and life thing. I've just always, I was born into it in the world of arts.
And of course, you are a writer, but you've experienced both screen and theatre writing. Do you have a preference you like to work with, or is it just an equal labour of love?
Say as of recently it's not equal at all. I've always like I've had that heavy sense of being heavily involved in theater, and when I first started college, in like my university, I initially majored into theater, but then I had a really bad experience in a public speaking class, and I'm like, maybe this isn't for me. So I decided like what major could continue to fill that creative itch. So I switched over to film, and then with film, my university has a lot of tech-based classes, and I'm like, oh, now I'm in like between both worlds, really trying to figure out what I want to do and like hone in on. And that's like where I decided and figured out like I'm a writer at heart, and combining this essence of like theater and film, for like future projects, later projects, really stood out for me as well. Yeah, so in terms of preference, like I would say I always go back to theater, but I'm interested in continuing this hybrid exploration of film, especially like with the previous production I just did. I was able to play with the different formats, and so I decided that maybe that's my calling. And then in the future, I would like to go deeper into film, but I would say even if I do go deeper, it'll probably be still based in writing and conceptualization. But no, theater is winning at the moment. Yeah.
But as you say, you are a writer at heart. So do you have any preferred subjects you like to write about, or genres you like to write in, or is it just a little bit of everything?
Yeah, so I've always been told that my writings are very sad and dark, which is really funny. Um, I'm definitely someone that likes to write and explore about grief, death, surrealism, absurdity, and a lot of philosophical topics. When I write, I like the endings to be very ambiguous, so the audience is really questioning like, oh, like what happened, or it's really up to how you want to digest it as the viewer. And I really think that's interesting because I try to play with this like artistic voyeurism and being thrown into the story randomly and discovering it alongside with the characters, and discovering like where is your place in the story as an audience viewer. I tried to keep them very thinky, like, or very like philosophical, and wanting to get a reaction out of people to where they're left sitting maybe not satisfied, and that's the whole point of it.
So do you have any more ideas for new works or plans on the horizon for existing works, or what's on the agenda for you?
Yes, as for now, I'm kind of wanting to take a little break to relax and be chill, especially because I just finished with a really big production, and that was like a whole semester one where I started like in early October and ending recently, and then being like a recent graduate and about to move across the country,
Oh
I'm
my
I'm interested
God.
in seeing like what other opportunities and projects I could get involved with, but and then for the production. I'm in post-production aspect of it right now because fortunately enough, it was filmed. So I'm interested in like editing it together and potentially putting it on YouTube, which is awesome. And I would want people to go out and see it. But yeah, for right now, nothing lined up. I just kind of want to relax and sit with the work that I've done and see what other ideas come on in the horizon.
But regarding your upcoming work, you have a YouTube channel. Where can people find it when it kind of comes into being, or where can they find stuff that you've done already?
So it's CLOUDE period underscore period DAYS cloudy days, and that's a lot of where I post my creative works. As for my YouTube, it's just Claudette Jones, or like it's also a part of the pages I have too. But yeah, I'm very heavy on Instagram at the moment.
And finally, before we move on to our play for this episode, do you have a standout moment, a moment that makes you think, yeah, this is why I do this?
A major standout moment that I can like recently recall is when like the early parts of the production that I was doing, and I went to my professor to talk about some doubts I had because the production is very tech heavy and I am not a tech person, so it was very ironic that I was kind of throwing myself into this new uncomfortable world, and I was kind of just like explaining to him how like, oh, like I don't think this project's meant for me, and like maybe it's not the right time for me to do this. But then I like sat down with myself and realized that this project isn't just about, like what's literally going on, but I'm giving opportunities for other people and artists to grow within their craft. We're all working together, meeting in the middle to create something that people can enjoy continuously. And this is why I do it, to keep experiencing, to keep learning and collaborating and working with people. And even when I have moments of doubt, like that's a moment right there that I can work through, and that is temporary because the end goal, the journey is a lot more worth it than just stopping.
Now move on to talk about our playwright and play for this episode. Isolde Trachtenberg now lives in the USA but was born in the former Soviet Union and has a list of achievements as long as my arm. She's worked in the Educational Media Division at the National Geographic Society and then as an environmental educator for NASA. She also has a love for the mysterious, having completed tarot readings for over 16,000 people and released the functional tarot deck and book. In addition to that, her work as a writer is just incredible. She's released 9 books, and if that wasn't enough, she is the host, producer, and director of the hit show The Creative Solutions podcast, so I couldn't be more thrilled to be producing her work. Isolde's play is called Irreparable Damage, and in it we see Caroline and Jillian navigating the messy remnants of heartbreak, humour, and unfinished love, using the Mem-o-matic. Theatrical Shenanigans presents Irreparable Damage by Isolde Trachtenberg.
Doors open!
Hey, I brought food and wine.
Excellent! More wine! We're gonna need it because check this out.
What's this?
It's the answer to your troubles. Or maybe my troubles.
Huh?
Today's text made it clear to me.
Made what clear? Help me out. I'm in the dark.
I know. And that's the whole point. You need clarity.
Clarity.
Yep. Okay. So, I love you, but I'm not qualified to help you figure it out.
Help me figure what out?
I just can't help you figure out why you've never had a successful, healthy, long-term relationship.
Present company excluded.
Naturally.
I never asked you to help me figure it out. I just asked you to listen.
Yeah. Men are jerks. We can fetch about that all day, but that's rehashing the past. It's not learning from it. It's not going to help you know better for next time.
Go on.
So, I thought we might try something different, more proactive.
Proactive.
Yeah, something that can help us learn from our mistakes.
You mean something that can help me learn from my mistakes?
Potato. That's semantics. I'm talking about something concrete and practical. We got a new prototype in the office today. It's got the worst name, but it can do some cool stuff. It's called the Mem-o-matic.
Mem-o-matic.
Yep, see what I mean? Terrible name, but it can look at your memories and get you a psychologically pertinent, neutral assessment of each one. So you'll finally get those answers, that clarity.
A psychologically pertinent neural assessment of my memories?
And it's all in tactile 3D.
What is tactile 3D?
Well, it's a hologram, but it's rendered as a 3-dimensional image that you can interact with on a tactile level.
Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
You can see it and you can touch it.
I can touch one of my memories, and it all comes out of that box.
Yep. It's not just a movie. Think of it like the Children's Science Center. You not only get to see all the cool exhibits, but you can interact with them, touch them, play with them. Only instead of making your hair stand on end by putting your hand on one of those Van de Graaff generator spheres, you'll be looking at your memories.
And those will definitely make my hair stand on end.
No doubt. But don't you get it? If we look at your memories of your relationships through the objective review filter on this thing, you'll be able to figure out why you've made the choices you did.
No one's ever definitely determined that there's a such thing as objective reality. We spent 3 semesters of philosophy debating that idea. Remember?
How could I forget? I saw those baby blues of yours and would have spent 3 semesters debating you about anything just as long as I could keep looking into them.
Ugh, you're the schmelziest.
Maybe. But you still have the prettiest eyes that ever graduated from the University of Michigan.
That doesn't change the fact that objective reality is a myth. It's our pathetic attempt to explain the unexplainable.
You're just saying that from your subjective point of view. You don't know, and I don't either. That's the beauty of it. Objective reality could be somewhere, just out of reach of our meager human understanding. And I'll bet there's some AI out there that's already proved it. But the government's keeping that info under wraps.
You ought to know. You work for them.
I do. So, you should just trust me when I say it's not only possible, but likely.
No way. Okay. Now you're talking. Does this mean you're finally going to tell me what it is you do for a living?
I'm a coder. That's all I can say.
I know that. I want to know what you're working on. Come on, please tell me.
If I told you...
You'd have to kill me.
Ha! Nope. No one's gonna harm a hair on that beautiful and brilliant head of yours. Besides, you're too famous, Ms. Best-Selling Author.
That was a fluke. It was a slow day on the New York Times bestseller list.
Ha! Lies. You got it fair and square. And frankly, I can't wait for your next book.
You'll be the first to know. But it's going to be a while.
Why?
I've been pulled in to consult on a fun storytelling project.
Ooh, do tell.
You're not the only one who signs NDAs, so I can't.
Spoiled sport. I don't want to know anyway. Besides, I'd rather talk about the Mem-o-matic. If you try it, we'll be able to review your memories and study them. And then you'll know what happened, why you did what you did, why they did what they did, and most importantly, why whatever you did or said didn't make you happy.
So this will be like going to a science museum of all my broken relationships.
Not a whole museum, more like an exhibition.
Yeah, like the optical illusion that looks like a bottomless pit of despair. Or a hall of mirrors that reflects me as a 3-foot-tall, 7-foot-wide monster. Yeah. No thanks.
What? Why?
Because it sounds ridiculous. There's no tech that can do that.
It's cutting edge stuff.
I'm not going to hook myself up to that thing and give it access to my thoughts. It could do irreparable damage to my brain.
If you don't believe it works, then it's just a silly thing to do before we head out for the evening. But I'm telling you, it works.
How do you know it works?
Well, they've been conducting human test trials on it for the last few months, and the results are promising.
Did they hook it up to the animals before that?
Why on earth would they do that? It's completely ineffective. Different DNA, different brains.
Okay, yeah, good, but still,
Still what?
frankly, even if it works, I'm not sure I'm comfortable looking at any of this stuff, much less studying it under a microscope like that.
Come on. Don't you want to know? I'd want to know.
Sure, you would, but you consider all your relationships healthy and successful even when they end.
Of course I do. Because I'm still great friends with all my exes. Present company included.
I'm sorry, but I don't think I need to go back and rehash my biggest romantic failures.
Come on. How can you not be curious? And besides, I'll bet you'll at least learn something. And you can stop whenever you want to. And then I'll take you out for a big old margarita.
Okay, just to get you off my back. How does it work?
Honestly, I don't know the ins and outs exactly, but I know how to use it. We need to attach these suction cups to your head. Oh, there's the kettle.
You're making tea? For me?
I know my Care Bear. You're going to want some mint tea to settle your stomach before we go out and get plowed on Patron Silver.
Best hangover preventative ever.
Hey, in the meantime, why don't you attach those suction cups?
How?
Attach 2 of the suction cups to your temples and behind your ears, just to make sure they're close to the temporal lobe.
How's this?
It looks right to me. Apparently you put them there because your temporal lobe stores your memories. And then I press that button and you think of a strong memory.
And then what happens?
You'll get to see the memory as it really happened. It'll be the exact things your eyes saw and your ears heard, as opposed to how your brain would now filter those memories. You'll see things as they happened, instead of what you thought happened or remember happening.
It sounds crazy. And how will I see them? What's going to happen?
You know what? I'm not sure. My boss said it was surprising and then told me to try it out on my own if I want to know more. So why not try it and see?
Because it's weird. And what if it's me? What if I'm the reason none of them worked? I mean, I'm the common denominator.
Oh my God. I'm sure that's not it. But the thing is, we can find out. We can see why things actually didn't work out instead of why you think things didn't work out.
You know what? Fine. Let's just do this for a minute and then go get margaritas.
Excellent. You're all connected, so all I need to do is fire this baby up.
No. Wait. Let me do that. If it's going to do weird things to my brain, I feel like I should be the one to flip the switch.
Deal. So, how is it?
It feels a little strange. Like it's a brain sucker and it's starving.
What?
Nothing. A stupid joke Mark used to make.
So, according to the instructions, it's good that you're thinking about your past. And since you mentioned him, let's try Mark first. Now, you want to sit back and think about him. You can even use the memory about the brain sucker.
Okay.
Hey, what's this?
It's your hand on my head.
No, dummy. It's a brain sucker. And it's starving. Get it? You've got no brains? I mean, I always knew you weren't the brightest bulb in the pack, but I didn't realize it was that bad.
I really wish you wouldn't do that.
The brain sucker's hungry. It wants pizza and beer.
Mark, I'm serious. Don't do that brain sucker thing again. It hurts my feelings.
Oh, come on. Don't be so sensitive. I'm just kidding around. And besides, I wasn't doing anything. It was the brain sucker that was starving.
Wow, what a jackass. I guess we know why you didn't stay with him.
Actually, he broke up with me.
What?
He said I had no sense of humor. I wasn't spontaneous enough. That I didn't have enough of a sense of play.
You play. You play all the time.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
But not his kind of play.
Definitely not.
Not the kind of play where I let him make fun of me all the time and kept coming back for more.
I told you you were being too sensitive, but you didn't believe me.
She wasn't being too sensitive. You were being a dirtbag.
I mean, you were cute and all, and great in the sack, but you were a snooze fest the rest of the time.
He said he needed someone who wasn't so serious and insecure all the time. I mean, I know I've got my share of hang-ups, but I do play.
You sure do. Remember that time we rode all around Central Park with you on the front of my bike and you were blowing kisses to everyone?
Yeah, and when I suggested a ride around the park, it was, "It's too cold, and I don't want to slip and fall."
It was the middle of winter.
And there was that one guy you flashed.
Wait a minute. You flashed someone? No way. Caroline, please be my Valentine? Actually flashed someone? Like with boobs?
Yes, with boobs. I have them, and I flashed them. But to be fair, I'd had 4 margaritas, so it was probably more their doing than mine.
Nope. Margaritas are just wheel greasers. They don't actually do the deed. They level up your superpower, so you feel like you can do the deed.
You know what? You're right. I do fun stuff. I do fun stuff all the time. Yeah, and you're totally right about Mark. He was a jackass.
Fair. I'm a true blue 100% jack of the ass. And I wanted to have fun before I became boring and monotonous. Monogamous.
Yep. So he cheated on me and then tried to make it out like it was my fault. So when I called him on it, he told me I was boring. And then he dumped me.
But hey, if I'd known you'd be willing to go all Mardi Gras in public, I might have stuck around.
Okay, you're done. Well, I certainly hope you know it wasn't your fault that he cheated on you.
I don't think it was my fault that he cheated. That's on him. But when you keep messing up with everyone you date, you've got to wonder if the problem is you.
You didn't mess up with everyone.
Oh, yeah? Then why am I still single?
Because you're choosy.
And David said I wasn't choosy enough.
What do you mean?
Oh, you know. Caroline, if you're going to make Southern Indian dishes, you have to pair them with an off-dry wine, like a Riesling or a Gewürztraminer, to balance the heat. Ugh. He was so obnoxious. He knew everything about everything.
So, you dumped him?
Actually, no. He dumped me too.
No way.
Yes way. According to him, I wasn't well-read enough. I wasn't worldly enough. I didn't have enough gravitas.
And he did?
He seemed like he did, but God, he was exhausting. Why did I ever like him so much?
See what I mean? Clarity. Ready for the next one?
You bet your ass. Bring it on. I want to see if David was as big as an ass as I remember him being.
Ooh, this dish is going to be served up spicy. Better break out that Riesling.
Speaking of which...
Okay, now think of a memory that really captures his jerkwaddedness.
Probably. That's the night we broke up.
Well, that's usually when you get to see someone's true colors.
Yeah. And he decided to show him at the Lincoln Center. At the opera.
The opera? You're kidding.
Nope. Apparently you're not supposed to laugh at Pagliacci. But, I mean, the guy's a clown.
And clowns are funny.
Exactly. But I laughed when I wasn't supposed to, and that was that.
What point did you laugh at?
I still can't believe that she did that. That was the rudest, most base thing I'd ever experienced. We were at the Met watching Pagliacci, and in the opera, Kenyo is a traveling clown who fears that his wife Netta is having an affair. She denies it, of course, but he is unconvinced. Tonio, one of the other members of the acting troupe, comes onto Netta, but she grabs a whip and drives him away.
Like Indiana Jones did with the snakes in that cavern.
Naturally.
Moving on. Her actual lover, Silvio, asks her to run away with him. Tonio overhears their plan and tells Canio. He comes back and almost catches them in flagrante, as it were. As Silvio escapes, Netta yells, "I'll always be yours!" Then, in the second act, Tonio convinces Canio that the lovers will reveal themselves during their show. And they do. So he kills them both. It's a profound and tragic tale.
And a bloody one. But then, at the very end, when Canio the clown brutally murdered his wife and her lover, he said, "The comedy is finished." And I said, "No shit." Well, duh. And that was all she wrote. That's why David dumped me.
That opera is a classic. You just couldn't understand it.
I understood it. I just thought that "comedy is finished" line was a little on the nose. You know what I mean?
You couldn't grasp the solemnity of the moment.
The solemnity of the moment? Who talks like that?
David. David talks like that. He believes in gravitas above all else.
Oh, especially at the opera. You were too feckless to appreciate it.
Feckless? You've never been feckless a day in your life.
Yeah, and according to Mark, I'm nowhere near feckless enough. I couldn't win with either of them.
I didn't want her to be feckless. Hell, I'm not even sure what feckless means. I just wanted her to be more fun. That's all.
You're fun, Caroline.
Yeah, I am fun.
If by fun you mean boring, then you were the most fun.
She was never a scintillating conversationalist. I will attest to that.
You don't have to take that crap.
Yeah, I don't have to take that crap.
Oh, but you're the one asking about it.
Totally.
Hey, wait a minute. How come we can ask you two stuff? Isn't this thing only supposed to be able to recreate memories?
Well, you did say it's a prototype. Maybe they made some upgrades to it.
Yeah, maybe.
That must be it.
Totally.
Because this box isn't an AI. It can't generate what these guys would think about something. That would be creepy as hell.
It really would, wouldn't it?
Agreed.
Totally.
Then again, who gives a damn what they or anyone else thinks anyway?
Apparently I do, since I'm using this stupid thing.
That's not giving a damn. That's getting closure. You didn't want someone who thought you were too boring or someone who thought you were feckless. You wanted someone who thought you were just right.
Yep, I'm the Goldilocks of relationships. I don't want one who's too flaky or one who's got too big of a stick up his ass. I want one that's the perfect combo of both.
Yeah, with rock hard abs and a full head of hair.
You're the best, Jillian.
I'm just looking out for my girl.
Your girl?
Who else do you want to know about?
There's only one other relationship I want to know about.
Great, which one?
Ours.
Ours. Haven't we been over that?
1,000,000 times, it feels like. But I've never gotten a straight answer from you.
About what?
About so much.
Okay, fine. Ask me. I'm an open book.
You've said that before.
But this time,
I mean it. Do you?
Sure.
Okay, fine. Then I'll ask. First, what happened with us? Why didn't we last?
Oh, you know me. I've never done long-term relationships.
I know you haven't, but do you remember? You once told me if you could be with anyone forever, it would be me.
Well, that's true. If I could have been with anyone forever, it would have been you.
Then why didn't you? Why didn't you stay with me?
It wasn't in me to stay with anyone. Some people just can't hack it. I couldn't.
Okay, fine. So you couldn't stay with me. But that's not what I want to know. And you know it. I need to know why you did it.
I can't tell you.
You mean you don't want to tell me?
That's not true. I would if I could. But that part's missing.
And you didn't even leave a note to say goodbye? If they can add to my memories, you can too.
No, I can't. Don't you think if it were inside me, I would tell you? I would have given you anything. But maybe there are some things you're not meant to know.
Stop! End scenario AI-23. Terminate program beta test 13.
Shutdown initiated.
Damn it! I thought the latest upgrade was going to access that part of her neural net, but I still can't get to it, and I can't keep repeating that same conversation over and over again.
We can increase the electric array of synaptic pulses the machine sends to what's left of our temporal lobe.
I don't think that will work. If the bullet hadn't destroyed so much of that part of her brain, it would be a different story. As it is, the hologram's probably right. She literally can't give me the information because it's no longer there. You're never going to give me an answer, are you? It's so weird. Every iteration is increasingly lifelike. But no matter how I play it, it always ends the same. It's like you're still here, still with me. But I know you're not. I can touch you, hold you, kiss you. But it's not you. Damn. I miss you, babe. Dr. Caroline MacArthur, exiting hologram simulation chamber AI. Recharge the compound's neuronet for storytelling scenario AI-23, beta test 14, to commence at 0900 tomorrow.
Complicated relationships galore there. That was Dana Hall as Caroline, Fred Tackett as Mark, Brian Cern as David, and Angela Sarabia as Jillian in Irreparable Damage by Isolde Trachtenberg. Claudette, what did you think?
You know, I really related with this story. It surprised me. I enjoyed it. At the essence, I love how it explored that lens of using science to explore grief and relationships and the dynamics between the characters. It was really well written, and I think this is something that people should keep going back to and exploring how like even with memory and emotions, there's this such human need for an answer that that was like really relating to me, because like when you continuously search, you don't feel satisfied, and there's that moment where you need to be okay with not being satisfied with it, and coming to terms with that. So this play has so many relevant themes to now as well.
For me, it was fascinating because relationships are such a human thing, and to take that and counterbalance it with science and AI is just very on the nose for where things are in our society at the moment. So I think Isolde brought the thoughts of our society very well to life in that.
And then also the essence that love outlasts death, especially with Jillian, that character. And it was also interesting to see, like, even before you realize the ending, or like find out like all of this is a simulation, that horror aspect of all these, like all the exes and characters interacting with each other, it's like she's reliving that trauma. Even as she's understanding it, she's reliving it and having to go through it and understand that it wasn't just me. And yet with Jillian having to battle through, like, oh, was it me with her, was it me with like certain aspects or memories that I have.
Apart from Caroline, we are on the same level of knowledge as all the other characters. As far as they're concerned, this is a legitimate exploration of the relationships as explained at the beginning. And it's not until the end that we are finally given that final nugget of what's really going on here. And I love that. I love the fact that it's right at the very end. And it's almost, as I say, it's almost it is the last line that Caroline says that makes you realize, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah, like
And
everything I was experiencing or reading was a lie.
yeah, it was just, it's not even that it's a lie, it's the fact that you now have to go back and re-examine the whole situation with what you now know is going on. You think, oh, there is so much more to explore here. And
Yes.
it's got layers after layers after layers that you keep discovering.
Yeah, that's why I said that this is definitely a play to keep having to go back through.
Yeah.
And even wondering like, could you read this play in a different lens as each character with a
Mm.
different perspective in mind too?
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, then you
Mhm.
have those moments of laughter, and then you, like I said, you have the moments of profound realization. But then there's also moments of just real, genuine sadness and darkness to it. Because there's one line that the voice says, and it says, "We can increase the electric array of synaptic pulses the machine sends to what's left of her temporal lobe." And obviously, Caroline has been doing this many, many times, try and get the results she wants. And it's the fact that, it's the use of the phrase "what's left of her temporal lobe." Like Caroline is desperate to get, as you said, the answer, the clarification. She wants what she wants, and she's potentially going to keep going until there is nothing left. And it's a really dark thought to put on what could be interpreted as just a kind of fun sci-fi play.
Mhm. And then it taps into what's going on in real life as well, like
Mm,
people wanting to hold on to memories, people talking about uploading certain things to a web or a
yeah.
computer and everything. Is like should we even sacrifice that essence of love and memory and how fragile these feelings are just to keep it forever? Like I don't think these are meant to be kept forever.
Mm. I can imagine seeing this and then debating with friends about, would you want to do this? Would you want to take the memory or the essence of a person you love and keep them alive in a method of, either AI or being
Mhm,
frozen or in a computer just to hold on to them?
mhm,
Because I know some people would immediately say, yeah, because you, as you say, you don't want to let go of someone you hold really close to you. But at the same time, do you want to keep having to acknowledge the fact they're not real anymore? When I produce these plays, obviously I produce them for audio, but I always think about how they would look on a
mhm,
stage. And I think the great thing about this is it's very simple to stage, because all you have initially is just the setup of a living room, and then you have the equipment that's brought on. But that's it. There's very little else to it, and even the bringing in of the holograms can be done relatively easily through kind of the elements of light and sound. So what you are focused on mostly as an audience member is what's being said and what you are discovering, which I think is a really good idea when it comes to a story that is more complicated. Because the more you, I know we have a society where people like all the bells and whistles, the big lights, the loud music, and that kind of thing. But I think with this is something that could be done very well in a very intimate space, and it could draw the audiences in, and as we've already said, it could make them leave thinking and
mhm,
debating, and like you said with your own work, it could make them leave unsatisfied.
mhm. What you said earlier in terms of like being intimate experiencing, I think having this production maybe even being in like a black box theater
Mm.
where the audience are like not like victims, but they're a part of the story as well,
Yeah.
being that that witness person,
Mm.
and even having like the actors like maybe like walk through them or like getting to like that center area would be interesting. Yeah.
Because it's also we are part of the experiment, because we are witnessing the memories the same as the other characters are. Obviously, we don't realize until the end whose memories we are actually witnessing, but we are a witness to the evolution, I suppose, of science into emotion, which again
Mhm.
is a topic that people can debate and talk about for many hours and have done.
Yeah.
Okay, we are almost out of time, Claudette. Your final thoughts on the piece as a whole?
Final thoughts. This is a piece that is continuously relevant and changing. Like it surprised me, and I'm definitely going to go back and read it and maybe even experiment with reading it in different perspectives. But I think this story has a lot of promise, and I'm excited to see what it would be like produced.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Okay, we are out of time, Claudette. Thank you so much for joining me and discussing this play.
Thank you as well. Thank you.
And that is all the time we have in this episode of Theatrical Shenanigans. I hope you enjoyed Isolde's fascinating play and my chat with Claudette. Next Sunday on the 8th of March, we have a treat for you in the form of our 3rd International Women's Day special. I'll be joined by 3 other amazing playwrights as we listen and talk about 4 brilliant plays that celebrate women. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, then make sure you tell us so, as we'd love to hear from you. We hope you can join us for our special next week, but in the meantime though, I've been Rachel Feeney-Williams. This is Theatrical Shenanigans, bringing down the curtain and saying, I hope you can join us next time. Theatrical Shenanigans is part of an RFW Scripts production, found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts and Podbean. Theme music is written and produced by Chris Cody.